What's up YouTube? Matt Mrozic, aka MVM397 here with an unboxing. And as you can probably tell, it is the new kit from Volks, the L.E.D Mirage V3 Inferno Napalm, if I can say it correctly. This is a kit, or this 5-star stories suit is one I've wanted for a very long time. And when I found that Volks was releasing a plastic kit, I had to jump at it. There is a resin version, and I actually found an original resin version on Hobby Fanatics for sale, but it was $800. This one was not that much. I would love to have the resin version, simply because the armors are clear, but I'm going to do it the plastic. I'm interested to see how Volks does their plastic kits. Anyway, do a little unboxing for you. I just got this today. I bought it directly from Volks, and here's my invoice. The price actually wasn't too bad. Let's see if it shows up. So the actual price of the kit was 23,760 yen, which comes out to be about $230 or so. Shipping was about $54, and then they charged me an additional fee of like $10. I guess that's like a service fee, so not too bad. So it's not a cheap kit by any means by the time you ship it and everything, but it's much cheaper than the original resin version. There's one on E2046, which is about the same price, $300, which is a recast, and I'd rather put my money on a plastic kit knowing that it's going to be good quality and good fit and everything, rather than bet on E2046. Anyway, it came in a box just that fit this perfectly. It came with bubble wrap, so it's really nice. So let's open it up and see how it looks. Of course, I'm never prepared. I don't have a blade or anything here, so we'll just tear it open. And I'm pretty excited to see how this looks. It's a really large box. I mean, the box is it's 2 feet by about 14 inches. So, you know, and it's pretty thick, about 7 inches thick. So, on scale with the perfect grade box, maybe thicker though, not quite as long. For scale, here's the perfect grade Zaku box. So perfect grade Zaku, about the same length, a little longer, not as, but thicker than the perfect grade. So, and this is a 1/100 scale kit. So I don't know what that means in 5-star stories. I've never built a 5-star stories kit, so I'm not sure how that translates in real life and how it compares to a mobile suit. But we're going to open this up and see how it looks. There we go. So packaging wise, very nice. Nice shot of the Inferno Napalm and a cool actual kit here. Nice background graphics, really nice printing. Here's a nice illustration of the design. Hopefully you guys can see that. So it's really nice. Oops, sorry, I kicked the camera. Looks like they got some sort of kind of drawing on the clear armor to give it some sort of effect. Here's some nice shots of the actual kit. Hopefully you guys can see that right there. It's just a really cool design. I don't know, I love it. I've never built, I guess I've never built a 5-star stories kit. Never seen any of the animes. I think I've never really seen any of the Gundam animes either, but there's something about this I really like. So, let's see what it looks like. So if you want to get this, I suggest getting it directly from Volks. It will be less expensive than buying it from any other website that I've seen. I did quite a bit of research on the pricing of this kit, so I think this is the best option. Nice packaging. I mean, right down to the newsprint inside. A beautiful, very thick manual. Even some wax paper in there. Beautiful. Some nice water slides. Very nice. Printing is excellent on these guys. Hopefully you guys can see that. Again, my lighting in here really sucks for video. I'm going to take this off the tripod. Sorry, guys. So, here are the decals. Super nice, really sharp, pre-cut. One thing I'm noticing is this doesn't have a super glossy film like other decals do, and they look really, really thin. So they should go on very nicely. So, looks good. Not a whole lot, but been impressive. Put it back on the tripod for a second. Oops, sorry guys. One thing I do not consider myself as a videographer by any means. I wish I had cool effects and graphics and animations and stuff. I just don't do that. So, look at other channels. Look at Jim and Vic. He's got cool graphics and stuff. This manual is crazy thick. I mean, it's a book. And I don't know if it's just because of crap load of parts or what. But anyway, nice little. I'm gonna take this off the tripod. I hate doing a handheld, but we're gonna do it that way anyway. Some nice photos of the finished kit. Here's the frame, looking really, really nice. And what I'm really looking forward to this kit is painting solid colors. I'm not going to do any shading on it. I'm just going to do it straight out of the box. Real nice, clean build. Nice close of the cockpit. Again, I've never built the Volks kit. I'm not sure if this is a snap together, or if it's a glue together, or what. No clue. So I'm really looking forward to it. The instructions are in Japanese as usual. Looks like there's just a lot of parts, and that the breakdown is very good. Here's the head, that really cool crest on top. One thing about the armor is that it's not completely transparent. It's like a frosted white, so you cannot see through it. And that's the one reason I really wanted the resin version, is because you can shine up that clear resin and it's transparent. You can actually see through it. On this kit, not so much. What I do like is what they do is they show you, excuse me. They show you the steps in illustration, and they get to the bottom and they show you a finished picture of what that step accomplishes. And then they give you a nice color guide right here. So let's see if that color guide is what kind of paints they refer to, if it's Mr. Color or not, if I can tell. So here's the color guide, and it does look like they have Mr. Colors. And they also give it to you, and it looks like this is Vallejo paints. I'm not sure, but they do give you the Mr. Colors, which is cool. So GX3. So it should be real simple to just do it straight out of the box if you want to match the color scheme. So I'm just going to flip through a couple pages. And I don't know how big this is. No idea how tall it is. Here's the foot. It looks pretty cool. And the picture of the finished foot. That nice high heel. There's one thing about five-star story designs. They're very, I want to say that they're almost feminine as far as their design and just the way they stand. They're kind of feminine, but also very powerful and just kind of, I don't know. They look dominating, but also feminine at the same time. I'm not sure if that's coming across right, but they're just angelic. They're very, I don't know. I just like the way they look. They're really cool, and especially this one. So again, here's some more steps. Nice instruction guide. Very nice. The paper is really thick. The printing's done I mean, this is great. It's a very nice presentation. And for the price, you should get a nice presentation. And that's one thing we all look for as model builders and collectors, you know. Even if you don't build a lot and you just collect, you want to feel like you've invested in something. So again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Here's another finished shot of the finished kit. What I'm curious to know is how they did that effect on the crest, because it's not molded in. On the picture, it looks like it's just hand painted, because you can see the brush strokes. The shields, and this awesome cool backpack. I think that's what I like about this kit the most, is this big like flamethrower gas tank. It just is cool. So it's nice. And if I sound a little tired, I am. My daughter wasn't feeling well the other day, and actually I'm not feeling so hot right now myself, but I'm gonna do this anyway because it came in today and I was excited about it. Here's that huge ass flamethrower unit. Some decal placement. So I think a really cool thing to do on this kit would be to take that white and paint a really nice pearl finish on it. So it's got a shimmer to it. And then decal it and then gloss it out. So I think I may do that. We'll see. You know, this instruction book was very large, but to be honest, there aren't a whole lot of steps considering the size of the kit. I think what they did is they did a really good job of just kind of breaking down the steps. Again, really nice photography. I'm a sucker for a good photo of a model. Makes me want to buy it more. So now here is, curious to know how this is done right here. This kind of metallic red, because there's no decal. There's a decal, so I'm wondering if this is like decal and then this clear coated red. That's my guess, because the decal is actually orange for that pattern. And it parts of layout of the runners. It goes all the way to N, and a lot of them are duplicated, so quite a few runners. And actually, this is kind of nice to tell you how much each runner costs if you need to buy a new one. So runner A is $10. What's the most expensive runner? It'd be $12, which is runner A. For the flame launcher unit, runner A is $13. Oh, so they basically broke this down into two kits. So you have the L.E.D Mirage, plates A through P, and some of those are duplicated. And then you have the flame launcher A through N. Cool. So let's take a look at some pieces. I'm going to put this back on the tripod. And I'll come in a little closer. You can see. Again, sorry for the terrible camera work. I do want to get a different camera. This one works okay. I got this as a gift about a year ago, and for the price, it's actually a really good camera. I think it's like a $100 camera, but it's HD, and but I don't have any control over exposure or anything. So I'm not gonna take these out of plastic bags, but I want to look at the quality of the plastic. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna take a few out because I want to see. I know David was unboxing a kit from Volks, and he had mentioned that the plastic had a texture to it, so I'm interested to see if that reigns true with this guy. So let's open a few of these and see what we got. So here's one of the white runners. It's kind of like a milky white. It's not transparent, but it's not, I don't want to say it's solid either. I mean, you can shine it to the light. You can kind of see that it does transmit light, but for the most part it's like a milky white. And as far as texture goes, there's none present. This is absolutely smooth, very nice. And it's not like a Bandai kit. I mean, they could have fit a lot more pieces on this runner, and they didn't. So maybe that's why there's so many runners. Molding is really sharp. Can't tell if it's a snap together. Someone chime in on the comments if you know if this is a snap together, if it's a glue together. I'd be interested. So this is one of the runners that's duplicated. Let's open up another one. It's a nice big one. This looks like it's got parts of the head to it. And man, some of these are really, really frail looking pieces. But beautiful. Man, look at that. Look how sharp that gets. That's crazy. That is as sharp as a needle. Right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. That would be very easy to break. But look at this. Look at this one part in this whole big area. So, I don't know. It seems like a lot of wasted plastic to me. A lot of wasted space. Maybe they could have done a better job of designing the trees. But, it's nice. I mean, it looks really cool. Alright, let's look at some of the other ones. So this is interesting. This is all packed together. Oh, this is cool. So this is the feet. That's interesting. So they have the feet, and it looks like the feet and the legs. I noticed the feet because I can see the covers. It's kind of like bagged together as a kit. Here's some of the kind of violet purple color. Let's see if there's any of that texture present on this. Let's see. Nope. It's completely smooth. No texture whatsoever. So, Dave, I don't know if that's maybe just part of the design of that suit, if it's supposed to have a texture to it, or I'm assuming the kit you have is a Volks kit. I think it is. But this is completely smooth. There's no texture to it. And then here is a silver plate. Rather large. Let's open that up. This kit might look good without really any painting. I mean, to be honest, it looks really good. I'm going to paint it though. I can't display a kit that hasn't been painted. Again, really smooth. As typical with any silver, molded plastic, you have these kind of veins that go through the plastic because the metallic pieces, the metallic particles kind of congregate in a certain area, so it looks like some veining. That's will be taken care of with some paint. No biggie. Okay, so, and then here's kind of like a gunmetal or steel color. Again, perfectly smooth. Nothing wrong with that. I'm really psyched about this. I saw this design a long time ago on East. Here's those. Cool. Okay, so that part where I was wondering about how they do the transparent red. Here's the answer. Transparent red. So that's cool. Now these, they are not completely transparent. Let's see. They're a little milky, but with a little polishing and some clear coat, those will be nice and vivid. Cool. And it looks like those are the eyes too, because on the box art it looked like they maybe photoshopped the eyes, but there they are, pure red. Nice. And they wrapped them in a nice piece of foam so they don't get scratched up. Nice job, folks. Okay. Oh, cool. Here's part of the flame launcher unit. So you have a metal support rod that goes in the middle, because you need it, because the sucker's that long. Actually extends past that. And you have some cool, some nice wiring in there. I'm not going to do that. Oh, here's part of the backpack. You get a sense of size. Looking nice. It's got a support stand. This is so freaking big and heavy. I'm not going to do what Dave does and go through every single tree. I like to pull out certain parts so you can get a sense of the size of this thing. So here's a good size of the sense of the flame launcher unit, and here's a shield. So here's the, is that in camera? Yeah. That's how long that sucker is. Let's measure it. So that sucker is 13 inches. And that doesn't include anything that extends past it. Pretty big. Nice, that's what she said. Here's the shield. Good size shield for a 1/100 scale. So you guys can see that. Good size. I'm impressed. I am really glad I decided to pick this up, the plastic kit. Like I said, I found an original resin kit on Hobby Fanatics for sale. The guy wanted like $750 for it. He wouldn't go down, which I understand, because that is a very rare kit. You don't see those anymore at all. To find one for sale at all is crazy. So yeah, he's justified in asking that much for that kit. It never hurts to ask, hey, can I get it cheaper? Maybe they're sitting on it and they want to get rid of it, but I wouldn't. Not on that kit. So my initial thoughts on this kit, it's awesome, looks really good. I have not tried fitting any of it together, so I can't comment on the fitment or anything like that. But as far as the plastic goes, it's really nice, very smooth. There's some very, very fragile pieces in here. Those initial two trees I opened up, they're very, that initial tree I opened up right here, I didn't make sure I don't damage that. That looks like the head. So, and there's a pretty good sized gate on that, so you gotta be careful when you're cutting it out. So, I'll put that to the side and put that on top. But so here's the L.E.D Mirage Inferno Napalm. If you're thinking about getting this kit, you know, for let's see, like $300. Basically, I can tell you what I paid. I paid $285 shipped. That's US. That's with conversion and everything. I ordered it last week. It shipped on, what's today? Thursday. It shipped on Tuesday, and I had it today. So within 2 days, I had it. So that's partially because of Volks service and just, you know, EMS. But, and of course, as with any kit, once you take it out of the box, it does not want to go back in. So I'm going to work on that. But I just wanted to show that to everyone. It's an impressive kit. I'm glad I got it. I'm looking forward to building it. I know Toy Maker on Facebook is building one, probably for display at the Hag shop, model shop. So check his build out and you can see what it's looking like. Pretty slick. But there you go. L.E.D Mirage Inferno Napalm by Volks. 1/100 scale kit. Very nice. As usual, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. It wasn't very exciting tonight, but I wanted to unbox it for you guys. Take care. Catch you later.